Be very careful comparing your lifestyle with the lifestyles of the people you see on social media. Be careful comparing your appearance with the best of the best or your abilities as an athlete, an artist, or a musician. Be careful with that because sometimes what that does is instead of motivating us, it sucks the life out of us. And then be aware that if you're trying to help somebody else, just showing them how good you are, that's not helpful. And perhaps even showing them how bad they are in comparison with their goals, that's also not helpful. So an excellent way to measure how effective we are when it comes to using comparison is to look at the energy that it produces in our lives. Is comparison charging your batteries? Is it renewing your determination? Or is comparison sucking the life out of you? And additionally, does any comparison that we make when it comes to the lives of others have a negative effect on them? Because if we're having a negative outcome, then comparison is proving to be a destructive tool. Remember, comparison is a lot like fire. If you do a search on the internet as to whether comparison is good or bad, you'll find that both cases are made. Some people say that you absolutely have to compare. That's the only way we make growth, is to compare ourselves with the standard. And sure enough, most personal development is all about seeing an ideal and then working to get there. But you'll also find the opposite case being made, that we should not compare people to one another or even to themselves, their previous versions of themselves. And so the truth is that comparison is like fire. And we might just say, is fire good or bad? Well, it depends. If it's a firestorm burning everything in its path, it's pretty bad. But on the other hand, it's the way we've heated our homes and cooked our food and lighted our nights for thousands of years. So fire can be very good. It really comes down to the way it's being used. So with regard to comparison, if somebody is using comparison on us to make themselves feel better at our expense, then that comparison is bad. If we're using comparison on somebody else, like, why can't you be more like your brother? Or how come you can't be like this other employee over here? See, that's not motivating, and it probably is doing more harm than good. Now, on the other hand, when comparison actually is being used to see where we are relative to where we want to be, it can be a very good thing. Like looking at a map, we see the goal and we see where we are, and hopefully every day we find ourselves getting a little closer to that destination. And so in that context, comparison can actually produce positive energy in our lives.